So just if it's JP, the yells ups the police. It looks like somebody had a big accident. So, whoa, they're kicking that stuff. So, gosh, yeah, big accident. Look like, well, the car got totaled. And, okay, so anyway, it's part two. So, let me go back over. So, the person had, a relationship where the partner is keeping them back. Yeah. If you're in a relationship with a person that's holding you back and you really want to do something, then you just got to go and just do it. You just have to do it. But the whole thing is, yeah, you just got to go and do it, because what's going to happen, I think I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the first video. I messed shit up, but I didn't. Is that you're going to, if you don't do it, you're going to become very bitter and very angry that you didn't do it, and you might take it out on that person, but actually it's not the person's fault, it's your fault, because you're supposed to be mature enough to make your decisions on your own, and no one should be able to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, even in a religious or God or religion or whatever. If you want to do it, then fine, do it, because it's your will, and you've been given a will, to do what you want to do. So go ahead and do it. Another thing is, you need to learn to, well, not you exactly, but people need to learn to trust in themselves, because believe it or not, you do have your quote unquote guardian angel, and that voice or whatever it is that's within all of us. We all have it, especially when you're taking a test. It tells you to mark A and you mark B and get your test. Something told me to write A, so we all have that. And listen to it. It'll help you a lot. And if you probably wouldn't listen to it in the first place, you wouldn't have gotten yourself in the situation that you are in now. But what I'm saying is that a lot of situations that you get yourself into, sometimes they do have a road that leads to just a dead end, and then sometimes they got roads that come to different turns and things like that, and you have to make a decision. So it really depends on. It just really depends on the situation and the time and timing and stuff like that. As far as children, if you're going to leave for a long distance, then what you need to do is instill a bunch of seeds in your child, so that they will remember you, they will understand, so they'll be able to understand what you're doing and things later. With my kids, when my wife divorced me, I went back and helped my daughter, and she did well. I helped my son. I visited them. I called. I sent child support money for 17 years. I didn't miss a month, and I sent more than at least twice what the courts had ordered me to pay and things like that. And I was always there. I don't know what their mother told them or whatever, but I just tell them, how I felt, and let them make their own judgments. But I'm not gonna. But I won't. Whatever their judgment has been, and maybe later developed to become, I'm not gonna let their judgment disturb what I feel, how I feel about myself. I did the best I could have in that situation, but then again, the whole situation. I mean, for instance, if my daughter or my son came and said, I thought this, but now I understand you're a bad father and this and that and this and that, then, I could say, yeah, maybe you're right, because I should have finished my education before I got married, before I joined the military, and I shouldn't have never even started having sex. right, what I did, which was after high school, and I wouldn't have never gotten this situation, and you would have never been around anyway to have this. So, you can always, so that situations, I think that's true for most of us, especially those who are born out of wedlock. So basically, what I'm saying is that regardless of regardless, people are going to have judgments about you, whether they're your kids, or your family, or your friends, or whatever. But the only judgment that's really going to matter is how you feel about yourself, because you have to wake up with yourself. You the ones have to think about the things you do and all of this stuff. And you're always going to be with yourself, and you're going to have to eventually, ultimately, you're going to have to answer to yourself, and whatever other things that people think about you really won't matter at that time. So that's very important to have this, okay? And that's with your spouse or partner or whatever. Now, if you get into a long relationship, okay, this person also talked about dissolving long-distance relationships or something like that. I'm not quite exactly sure. But long-distance relationship, if you are going to separate from your wife or move for business reasons and things like that, then I would have told my wife, and I know it's kind of cold, but I would have said, you just enjoy your life and you do what you got to do, but just be careful. And the reason I say that would be because there are some people out there who just need someone to be around them, and they can't function without somebody or some kind of action and things like that, or someone to try to control or whatever. I mean, it's really interesting, but some people just can't function, without someone else in their life, and to say, hey, I don't want them to. If it was me, you should already know what kind of person you have. And if you have a person like that, then just say, hey, just go on to do what you need to do, and don't worry about, whatever. And when any problems that come along, we'll just handle it as it is. And that's if you want to come back. But if you want to dissolve the relationship, then when you leave, you should always leave as friends. My first two wives, when they divorced me, we were still good friends, and we're still good friends now, And when I go to LA, I can still stay at my kids' house the mother's house, or whatever. And she's in a relationship with another person, and me and that person, we get along. We don't. There might be a couple of words exchanged and stuff like that from her end. From their end, or the wife's end. But usually, I don't argue back. I just say, okay, whatever, and just try to crush it or fix the problem if they got a legitimate complaint or anything, because there's really not too much time to waste and stuff. But in those type of relationships, if you want to dissolve them, it's best to dissolve as friends. And that's why I said, if you have ambitions and things, then you take care of your responsibilities at home. That's going to seem like you're not there as best as you can, or it's going to seem that you're still there, or whatever responsibilities that you have. You don't want to leave just this void and stuff, for the other person to feel, which might be very difficult. So you do that, and then just leave as friends, because you might dislike this person now, but later on in life, something may happen, and it might force this person to wake up or to do things, and the person might actually do become successful, and that person might come around, and if you're can't be forgiving and stuff like that, then you'll mess up a second chance that that was offered to you. So that's very important to do. And let's see what else. trying to think. I got 4 minutes. Oh, so anyway, when you go to another country and things like that, you're going to be a new face. And this person wants to go to Asia. The other person wants to go to Asia too. And when you get there, you're going to, what you need to realize is that the same situation that you're in, all countries are going through the same thing. The men and the women are at odds with each other. And it's probably always been there because they don't really understand each other. And it's a simple fix. You be with someone, and when you talk to them, you need to start asking questions. What do you want in a relationship? And I know if you go to a party and you end up sleeping with somebody or something like that, and then you say, oh, this is the love of my life. And again, like I said, it's not the person that you actually love, it's the action that's making you feel good, and that's what you love. But because it's coming from that person, then you, instead of attaching the love to the action, you attach it to the person, and then you end up getting stuck again, and when you're really not, and it's almost like watching that X-Men movie where the girl who could change to a diamond or something like that, or glass or whatever, and she was sitting on the couch while the guy was in bed, pretending like he was touching on her and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, that's disgusting. Well, actually, a lot of relationships are like that. When you mix up the word love and don't understand exactly where it's coming from, and you'll come out to another country, especially if you come to, say, like if you come to Japan. These women out here, in other countries too, but the main difference about Japan is that the women, they dress up really nice. And when you, because I see it, like a lot of Asians come here and send hibachi, whatever, on the foreigners, and they just dress bummy. I mean, it's just, when you come out here and, the women just dress nice out here, and then you see other Asian women come out here and they just wearing, jogging pants and, T-shirts and no makeup, and their hair is all messed up. Well, I mean, they might have fixed it, but compared to someone who actually went to a barber shop and is stepping out, and then you doing your own hair and stepping out, and then they're wearing designer clothes, and you're wearing something, that you picked up at a thrift shop, look like you picked up at a thrift shop, it's going to, it's really going to, people are going to notice it and stuff. So you go to another country and you mess around and fall in love with some girl, and you'll end up in the same situation. So it's best to, like I said in the first video, just go out there and take care of your business. You really take care of your business, because there are going to be a lot of girls out there that's going to see you as an opportunity, and because they might be upset with their men. So it's like you go to a club and let's say if you're a white guy, you go to a club and you see some beautiful white woman, and she all of a sudden all on you and stuff, and then you have to ask yourself, hey, there's other men here in this country. Why is she all on me? Why isn't she talking to her other men? Or some Chinese guy go to a club and he sees some Chinese woman, in another part of China or whatever, and you have to ask these questions. Why is she all on me? Because the women in your neighborhood aren't on you, because they probably think you're nothing. They don't think about you. And the whole thing is that a lot of women, a lot of people in their neighborhoods, the men and the women, they just don't know how to get along with each other. So the women, they just out dating guys in other neighborhoods and stuff, and because the guys are not well equipped on how to handle situations like that, they'll just fall from one, they'll fall into another pit, climb out, fall into another pit, and fall out. So when you do go over there to these different countries, especially you being a foreigner and things like that, then be careful of these traps. Just keep it real, focus on your business, and don't end up getting married and get stuck, because it does happen to a lot of guys, and by the time you realize what happened, you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? But by that time it might be a little late. But anyway, that's about it. I'm out. Peace.